All right, guys, today is January 3rd, 2026. We're starting off the year hot, baby. We're starting off the year hot. So I just finished up with one of my listing clients. Really great people. They're fun. They're a fun bunch. And yeah, just unfortunately we're on the market too long, so it was time to, we were getting close to the 4-month mark, and we're in the new year. It's time to reevaluate and assess the situation and see if their goals are still in the same, if we're aligned, and so I went in there firm on, like, we need to do something. We need to make a change to price. We got to do something different to get a different outcome. Hopefully, there's no guarantees that it's going to change, but we need to try something new. Because, just a little backstory, these clients were an expired listing that I called, and they decided to hire me and give me a shot. And so, I want to make sure that I'm doing my job correctly. And unfortunately, we're approaching almost 4 months on the market with no offers. We've had 15, 16 showings. We got one coming tomorrow. Like, we've had a lot of foot traffic through the door, but nobody making an offer. And previous to me going on the market, previous to him hiring me to be his agent, he had another agent that he had for 6 months that expired. And same price, same exact price. And a year ago, he hired him January 16th, 2025. So today's January 3rd. We're almost at a year that he's had this house looking to sell it. And yeah, like, look, if it was worth $450, it should have sold. Well, for me, it should have sold. So I just kept hitting them and having them really try to understand, like, where I'm coming from, to explain to them that, guys, look, if you really want to get this house sold, we got to reduce the price. And I personally, like, we left it. I'm gonna drop it 10,000. That's the most that I can get out of them. It's not where I would have listed it, but I brought a net sheet, and their net proceeds, after looking at everything and seeing, like, where it would fall, they need to be at a certain number. And if they're not at that number, then they're not planning on selling, and that's fair. I mean, I told them that. I'm like, guys, like, if you don't get the number that you're looking for, is it worth selling? Like, why don't you just stay for now? And that's the most real thing, I think, that as an agent, as a listing agent, I think that's the most important. Because you're not, of course, like, I get paid to sell a house, and I want to sell this house. It'll pay me a pretty penny, but I have to be real and also do what's best for my clients, and over my own self-interest. And I just was upfront. I'm like, guys, like, if you don't get the number that you're looking for, why not just stay? And to them, they were like, you know what, we'll reduce it by 10,000. We have 2 months left in my contract with them. They said, by the time that the house expires, when it's ready to come off the market, if it's not sold, then they're gonna just keep it off the market. They're gonna do some renovations to the house and stay put for a little bit. Fair, fine. I just want to make sure that I at least know that. So now I'm not, like, sitting on the market. Well, I hope they relist with me. I hope, delayed gratification. If it's gonna work, it's gonna work. At least show them my value now, and that way when the time comes, shoot, maybe if in 2 years they decide now is the right time, they got now enough equity to make that move, to feel more comfortable to do it, and then the price of the house is even more. So it's a win-win for me if I did my job right, and I feel like I did. And so, look, the biggest takeaway is you got to just be real with people, and people appreciate that. And my clients appreciated that. Like, I told them straight away, first few words out of my mouth when we sat down just now, I was like, look, guys, I'm going to tell you things that you don't want to hear, but that you need to. And we went into it, like, I just told them straight up, and I did have this conversation a little bit in the beginning, and that's my mistake for not being as firm. I should have probably walked away and not have taken the listing. I thought, maybe, fine, we'll take the listing at $450. we'll do a price reduction, we'll get it sold. Didn't happen. I mean, we're almost 4 months on the market. They didn't want to do a price reduction, and it hasn't sold. So, I'm hoping that this $10,000 is enough to make at least somebody make an offer, and then we can now renegotiate. But there's no guarantees that they're going to want to take that deal if it's a little less than where we're going to list that or relist that. So, I don't know, man. Like, biggest thing that I could say, and for myself and for anybody that watches this video, is if you're going to be a listing agent, be real. Be real with people. What I just did does not help my case at all. Like, it does not help me at all. But it helps them. And in return for that, for me helping them and just being real and showing them that I'm not here to just make a check and see you later, that I genuinely care about my clients, and that I'm really telling you how it is, that if in the future or in return they like that, and that it's no problem for them to refer me, and they actually already have referred me to somebody, of which that I'm going to be taking out to go look at some houses next week. So, I mean, you just got to be real with people, and I think that people appreciate that the most. And you know what, could you walk away? Could I walked away from it, because they're not meeting what I want? And sure, I could have terminated the contract and we just part ways because they're not aligned with what I want. But that's not who I am, and that's not what I want for them. So I want my reputation to be that when they hire me to be their listing agent, I'm going to work my ass off to get them the best outcome, and just be dead honest and upfront with them. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to tell them what they need to hear to actually get them the result that they're looking, the result that they want. So, hey, look, it wasn't a strong prospecting day. I woke up, I hopped on, I made calls, I was not getting anybody on the phone. Not a great prospecting day, but you know what? This was a tough conversation that I've been kind of like dragging my feet on to have with my clients. But you know what? Just being real is the best thing ever, because now I feel like there's a new level of respect and a new understanding, and now, we're doing something new. So even though it wasn't the price point that I wanted for them, it's a little bit, they moved a little bit. Now, it's something, it's different than what they were at before, and I was able to get them to realize that. So in a way, I did kind of get the outcome that I was looking for. So, it is what it is, man. This is real estate. This is the day in the life of a realtor. So hey, if this video helps anybody, great. If not, whatever, comment, like, subscribe. I appreciate the feedback. I'm just giving it to you raw, unfiltered, no editing any videos, like, for now. This is just straight, you know what I mean? So hopefully, when I look back on these videos 4 or 5 years down the road from now, like, I'm like so excited because I know like where I'm gonna be. Like, I know I'm gonna be in a really, really good spot with my business, and I'm just, this is the building blocks. These are the foundations. Right now, I started in June 2025. How many months is that? For 6, 7, 8 months now. I've been an agent. 7 months, something like that. Like, I've sold one house. I've from a FSBO expired, from e-cost prospecting. In total, from all my prospecting hours, I've gotten 6 total listings. I've sold one house. I have 2 that are overpriced. One that came off the market. One, unfortunately, caught on fire and burnt down. But I got a new listing that went on the market today that I got a good amount of activity on. Like, I have things to be positive about. My short duration as an agent, I don't really work with buyers. I'm only doing listings and prospecting and cold calling people. But like, I'm kind of in the suck. Like, it sucks right now. I'm not making money the way that I want to, and I'm spending more money than I'm making currently. But I know that it's gonna pay off. Like, I know it will. I believe in myself. I believe in my abilities. I believe that what I'm doing today is gonna benefit me for the future. I just gotta be more consistent. Brandon Mullerin, check him out. He's great. This guy's like, you know, he's awesome. I love this guy, and you know, he gives it to you so real and straight. Like, you know, you gotta change your identity. You gotta become the person that you want to be now. And so doing this is getting me there, hopefully. And I'm just excited, man. The future looks bright. I'm like super thrilled to just have life. You know, God has blessed me in so many different ways, and I'm just truly so blessed and so thankful for everything that I have. And you know what? Like I said, you know, a few years down the road, the struggles that I'm going through now are going to be, you know, hopefully not. Hopefully I won't be struggling anymore, but I believe in my abilities that it will be different, and that I'm going to be that agent, that agent or that avatar that I created for myself, that I see for myself. I'm going to get it. So, yeah, man. Hey, cheers. Thanks for listening if you do. This is probably more for me than for anybody else, but yeah, like I said, future looks bright, and let's go 2026. Let's have a great year. You know, just spread positivity, talk to God, reach God, build a relationship with our Savior, and He will return in 10 times more than you can imagine. And I'm blessed. I'm so blessed and thankful for the things that are going on in my life. And yeah, so hopefully this is a message of positivity and somebody finds some value in this. But yeah, I'm gonna end this here. Ciao, everybody.